If you've been paying attention to what the Republican Party has been doing over the last few weeks, you've noticed that they've spent a lot of time talking about transgendered youth. And it's not because obviously they want to make the lives of transgendered youth any better. No, they're quite the opposite, actually. They want to single out transgendered youth. They want to make them feel like they don't belong, not only in their state or their country, but in their own skin. And they want to make their lives miserable just for the hell of it. That's the purpose right now of the Republican Party's attack on transgendered individuals here in the United States, just to make their lives miserable. And the reason they're doing that, the reason they're using the transgendered, why they've been talking about it so much, transgendered sports, transgendered bathrooms, transgendered surgery in Arkansas. They just passed that bill, even though the hard right Republican governor didn't sign it. They had enough to veto that. So that's a law that youth in Arkansas cannot get gender-affirming surgery. So what is with this sudden attack and this sudden obsession by the Republicans of transgendered youth here in the United States? Well, the answer is simple. Because they need a bad guy. They need an enemy. They need some kind of scapegoat to say, hey, things are crappy right now. And it's crappy because, we already did immigrants. We've done black people. We've done gay people. What about transgendered? Okay, yeah, transgendered. That's it. Your lives are sucking now because of the transgendered youth. Whew, good. Now we don't have to do anything for the next 4 years because we're just going to keep talking about how horrible it is that people can have gender-affirming surgery here in the United States. Now, it's an issue that only affects the individual having the surgery. It doesn't affect you. Your daily life, you go to work, you go out to dinner, you go to the bar, have drinks with the friends in non-COVID times, of course. None of that is affected in any way at all by anything that the transgendered community does, by the way. So all of these attacks from the Republicans that Republican voters are going along with, they actually are not affected by them at all. It doesn't change the way their lives are. It sure as hell changes the lives for transgendered individuals who are already highly targeted, the victims of hate crimes constantly. Suicide rate is absolutely horrific among that group, and it's because of things like this. But every time the Republican Party needs an enemy, the Republican Party needs some kind of people to blame, they just pick one minority or another and they bounce around it. And this is all part of their culture wars. And they do it, as I've repeatedly said, because they have nothing of substance to talk about. Okay? They have absolutely nothing to run on anywhere in this country. So what do? They pick on these certain groups of people, and then they go back to their constituents and say, hey, listen, we kept the weirdos out. We kept the job stealers out. We kept the black people out. Whatever the enemy of that time was, that's what they then run on, even though it wasn't even an issue to begin with. And these idiot, bigoted Republican supporters, because that's what they are, they buy into this crap. They eat it up. And that's why the Republican Party can still win elections even when they have nothing to run on. Because they'll find some kind of idiotic culture war issue to sell to voters stupider than they are. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to keep working. That's why we're seeing this attack on transgendered youth right now coming from the Republican Party. And do not expect it to stop till at least after the midterms. And if it proves successful for them in the midterms, buckle up, because things will get much, much worse for this targeted group of individuals that Republicans have now made their enemy of the day.